far does the camera shoot?
It's just this table.
Just to the edges.
Just the edges?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can't get much of the equipment behind us, right, is what you're saying? Yeah, right? Good morning, everybody. We're coming to you live, right here from inside the main build facility at Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. I'm Tom, and we all know the Master Bub. Good morning, Bub. How are we doing today?
Doing really good so far, man. It has been a day of just a lot of technical research. You know, I was talking with Shannon, our office manager, this morning, and she actually was like, well, what are you doing right now? And I'm like, this is probably the most important part of my job that most people don't really take the time to understand, which is doing research. You have to be on the forefront of everything, and it doesn't matter what it is you are dealing with, whether you are dealing with engine building, whether you're dealing with electronics, braking systems, hydraulics, components, fittings, fasteners, man,
Sure.
Whatever it is in this automotive industry, even when it comes to metals and the material
It's
they're made
research
out
for
of, it has to be research if you want to understand what you're working with, how to attack every job, and how to go after everything. You have to take the time and read, and that's what I've done for about 4 hours.
This episode is brought to you by Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. That's Bubba'sExoticMotorsports.com. Make sure you visit our online store with all the accessories and apparels for your loved ones at Christmas time, and 19,000 new parts that have been uploaded from our big partners, American Racing, Nitto Tire, let's see, Borley Exhaust. All the big guys are out there and on sale on our website. The Moose is loose in Abacoa, Florida. Miss Outlaw Boutique. That's MS Outlaw Boutique, 561-660-6695. The girls are killing it over there. Extended hours through Christmas time. 1200 Town Center Drive, Suite 108. Call Robin, call Layla. Great stuff going on over there, guys. Get the gifts that all your girls are going to love, Bob. Cars and Coffee at Palm Beach, the Guinness World Record holding Cars and Coffee event this month, or January. It'll be, the upcoming one will be January 21st at off exit 71 here in South Florida in the Palm Beaches. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Woodward Fabrication. Phil Heck and crew out there. Woodward Fabrication is fabrication done Bubba style, Bub.
That's right.
We're going to talk a little bit today, Bub, as we're moving into the news phase of what's going on with our new idea, as we have been told to couch it. There's a lot of things going on. We're going to be updating the fabrication area. What we're going to do is share with everybody some of the tools that you use, Bub, and this is the fabrication area. It's about 54 feet long and about 12, or is it wider, 12 or 15 feet wide?
Yeah, about 16 feet wide. Yeah.
16 feet wide. We're going to open it up about 4 more feet because of what we're getting ready to get into, the project we're getting ready to get into.
Yeah.
And you and Cody Bo from the former Street Outlaws 405 crew will be building in this exact area. This is equipment that Woodward Fab has sent into you. They continually update your equipment through the years. You want to move into some more pneumatic-driven stuff and some bigger issues. A couple shout-outs here, Bub.
Yeah, man. Good morning, Mark Hoffman. Happy holidays to you as well. A lot of people say happy holidays. Some people say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year's.
Merry Christmas.
So it's really kind of just turned to a thing where, you know, you have to worry about what you say to some other people. Guess
No, you
what?
don't.
Screw
It's
it, bro.
Merry Christmas,
Merry Christmas
brother.
right now.
That's
That's
right.
where we're at.
Good
So, Mark, Merry Christmas to you. Let's see here. We got, and Big
Money works
He's
tomorrow.
sleeping. He's not here right now. He's at home.
Tomorrow, yeah. Monday,
And
Wednesday, Friday.
we've got Brian Loschenschauser, Hanna Hufenhammer. He says
Brian
good morning.
Luftwaffe.
That's it.
That's right, one of the 405 boys. And by the way, I want to say good morning to the amazing Chet Burks. If anybody would like to know who Chet Burks is, ChetBurks. He is one of the most recognized producers in the television industry. So there's a reason I'm saying good morning to Chet.
That's right.
So say good morning to your longtime friend, Chet Burks.
I already did. We were texting all morning long.
Oh, were you?
Yes.
And good morning to my very good friend, Paul Sr. from Orange County Choppers, who's always also watching.
Hey, are we going to
Well,
talk about
we have
what
a
we're doing?
slew of things sitting out here, and this, I want to start with the ice pick. I see this is what I go on Arctic expeditions with, Bub, and I chisel through these like big ice picks and everything like that.
Yeah, you kind of look like that guy from that scene of The Abominable Snowman.
Yeah,
You know, the little blonde head kid with
not
the
Yosemite
anywhere
Sam.
blue hat.
What's his name? Yeah, the dentist.
Yeah, is it the dentist that tries to climb up the mountain?
Yeah.
No, I think it was a little kid.
No, it wasn't. It was the guy that was like Yosemite Sam in the cartoons. I forget what his name is. It'll come to me as we go through this. What is this, Bub? It's got about an 8-inch spike on one end, a flat area on the other end, and a wood handle.
All right, so these are actually, and this is just a very small piece of what you would use in a lot of either sheet metal work or body working material. This is one of the pieces you would use. This is considered a body hammer. There are many different styles, designs, types, weights, you know, actual structure of them. Totally crazy amount of options out there when it comes to doing sheet metal and body work. This is one of those main items you would use. You would also complement this with one of these dollies that you see down here on the table. That is what you would actually put on the back side of the piece of metal that you are working with, if you can access it. so that you can have two solid surfaces, one firm that you would hold in your hand, then one that you can beat against the face to either take dents out, maybe put dents in if that's what you're trying to do. But this is a very important piece when it comes to working with steel that maybe you don't need, maybe there's no rust on it, right? Maybe there's just a couple dents in it, a couple creases. Instead of just doing it the ghetto way like a lot of people out there do, which would be grind it down, just throw some Bondo on the thing and just go with it.
Sure.
Right? So this would be the way you would go through and take out any imperfections you would want. Even if you wanted to create maybe a new body line or a style line, you could actually do it with the combo of some of these body hammers and dollies, as they are different shape, angles, tapers, points, flat, square, round, anything you can imagine.
Bub, I know right here over, just kind of to complement that, you can't see it on the camera because it's a tight shot, but just behind me you have rollers. You've got rollers over here,
Yep.
an English wheel over here, and you've got a bead roller. Can you please identify, speaking of bodywork, what these three pieces do? For example, the English wheel.
So all of these, everything that's in the woodward-fab area is related to either sheet metal or aluminum working, and it is literally, we have the capability here of designing and building virtually anything you can imagine. It's a lot of hard work. When you are doing sheet metal work, it is true artists that come out
Sure.
to do that kind of work. It is all done with your mind and your hands. That is where it comes from. So it's something that takes a lot of skill, a ton of time to do, but when done properly and done with the right tooling, you can have a masterpiece.
You can. So the roller over here, Bub, let's talk about the English wheel. What does the English wheel help you accomplish in your metal
So you can actually just shape metal with that. You can literally use it from a press standpoint. It's almost like a rolling press to change the shape of what you would have as a starting piece of flat steel or aluminum. You can literally roll it through, create more tension, take away more tension, put different style balls on them so that you can literally change that arch that you're going to roll into it. Maybe you want to roll panels, you want to roll fenders, maybe you want to roll consoles. Everything you can imagine, you can do it with a wheel and off of a roller setup as well.
How about, Bub, a bead roller? What is a bead roller? We hear that term used a lot.
So
Balls.
So the bead roller is actually over your right shoulder. It is the blue one. I think they can see that out there. So that bead roller is everything you can imagine, from 1/8 inch beads up to 1/2 inch beads, even deeper than that. That is actually mobile, so we can pull that thing out and do very large panels. A lot of people do that whenever they are taking flat panels and needing to add structure to them. Maybe they're doing a set of rear wheel fender tubs. Maybe you're doing a mini tub kit and you want to just widen those things out. If you want to put structure in them, as you know, if you just take a flat piece of aluminum, you can shake the thing around and wobble it everywhere. If you just put 2 bead rolls in it, maybe you need that piece flat still. You can put 2 bead rolls in it, 3 bead rolls in it, whatever your design may be or your preference. Structurally, it will not flop around like that like it used to.
Can you also develop style lines for cars using bead rollers?
Oh, for sure, yeah. You can add trim panels to it. You can literally, if you wanted to do an accent, like a raised 1/2 inch bead all the way down from like a front fender tip all the way down to a rear, it's a lot of time and work, but you could literally take like a piece of 2-inch metal, if that was your preference, put a 1/2 inch bead in the thing so it's got a really nice smooth point, and it'd be raised all the way back. You can run it the length of the car, and then you would just have to shave it into the actual, upper panel, lower panel, where you would stitch weld all that in.
Some of the Duesenbergs and things like that you've done that do not have parts readily available for them, you physically have to manufacture here in the Woodward fabrication area. You do a lot of bolt-on applications as well after you've done the research, so you can bolt pieces on or you can manufacture them here. But one of the things that we want to make sure that everybody's wearing, maybe not this particular set, is when you're working with metal, what?
So these are actually welding gloves. These are very, very flammable resistant. They keep your hands very safe. When you are working with anything, it doesn't even have to be specific welding for welding glove use. You can literally be working with a cutoff wheel, anything like that that is dangerous. You want to make sure you take that safety precaution and protect your hands, protect your arms, your eyes most importantly, and just make sure that the job comes out right and safe every time.
When we speak kind of, Bub, of protecting arms, these have got a lot of use to them. You are very safety conscious in your welding environment. Can you tell us a little bit about what these are?
Yeah, so these are actually just mini half sleeves. You can put these things on. Maybe it's in an area where you're too hot. You don't want to throw on a full-on welding suit, which it is down here in South Florida. You are naturally really hot in the main facility where you are doing a lot of that grinding and welding. I throw on a set of these sleeves. They will go from my t-shirt down to my wrist, and I throw the gloves on top. And you can actually protect yourself from either getting burns, getting flash burn to your skin, or any of the residue welding or arcing that comes off, even using a plasma cutter, blowtorch, anything you are working with.
It does burn when it hits your skin.
Oh,
doesn't it,
definitely
Bub?
does.
And while we're on the welding side, Bub, let's talk a little bit about what I have here in my hand.
So that's actually a welding helmet. This one from Snap-on directly. As you know, we have all Snap-on tools only in our main facility except for our sheet metal working equipment, which is all woodward fab. So this is an auto-dimming helmet. There are very basic ones out there. There are very expensive ones out there. These things you can go through and adjust them. I mean, the quickness of how fast they adjust and dim, the brightness or the darkness of how fast they adjust and dim. We actually use this to look at the, what was that, the lunar eclipse. So it was actually pretty cool because you were able to put this helmet on, set it dark enough that you could actually look up and see the full lunar eclipse. It was a pretty cool idea.
This is what it looks like from the front, Bob. Let's let people see what it looks like from a camera perspective.
Back up a little bit, they say.
Back up a little bit. Can you
Yeah.
sit down, Mr. Producer? Down. Bring it up a little bit. Up. All right, there you go. So this is what it looks like from the front. And now I'm going to put it over the camera lens so people can see literally.
I don't think it's going
what
to make
you're
a
looking
difference.
at.
It's not going to make a difference. Will it make a difference? Anything?
Everything's green.
So it's not dimming, but that's what you're seeing.
So now once, Bub, you strike a flash with the welding helmet, what happens what do people see from inside the welding helmet?
So, okay, so here's how I always set these things. So I actually we have really bright lighting here in our main facility. So what I typically do is put my helmet above my head, right? And
Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Brian Tesser. You know him from the former 405 Street Outlaw show. My good friend, Bub's very good friend, Goaty Bo, is out there. He's saying you really got full-on welded gloves and sleeves. He's laughing at the fact that Bub does, yes, in fact, use a full glove and full
listen,
sleeve.
that's not to say, Goaty Bo, that I use those things every time. I'm trying to keep it very professional here and give everybody the best advice. No chance do I put those things on every time.
Good morning to the wonderful Ron Gibney. You know him from the former 405 Street Outlaw shows as the White Rhino. Good morning, my good friend.
So listen, so let me go back to what I was saying though. So what I typically do with these auto dimming helmets, and again, it's going to be different for everyone. I have actually injured my own eyes from trying to weld, even a small spot weld, a couple here and there. I've actually been in the hospital for it, for burning my retina. So it is something that is very serious. It is no joke when you are working with welding, especially very high-end MIG and TIG welders that are creating serious amounts of heat, doing, you know, half-inch thick, three-quarter-inch thick steel. That stuff is lava red hot, and you can very quickly burn your eyes with the lighting that's coming off of that welder. So I'll tell you what, take the time, wear the right protection. It will keep you safe, as easy and stupid as it does seem. One of the quick things that I do with my helmet is I will literally take it and I hold it up to our lights here in the facility just above my head by a foot, and I just adjust the dimness so that it just kicks on by the second I tilt my lens up to hit the lighting above. And that to me is a great starting line to figure out how sensitive you want that adjustment to be. Too sensitive and the thing's going to be on all the time. Before you know it, your batteries inside of here are going to be dead all the time.
Yep, exactly.
Because our lighting is so bright here in the facility, just sitting on the table like this, if I turn the sensitivity up more, it would actually be dimming right now, and you don't want that because then you are operating those batteries.
That's correct, it is. And Bub, you're very, very precise in how you set your equipment up. Now, would you like to read to the whole world what Ron Gibney, the White Rhino from the former 405 Street Outlaws crew, is saying, and then we'll put a liability disclaimer behind it.
Okay, so Ron Gibney, White Rhino, I weld in shorts, flip-flops, and sleeveless shirts, sissies, which is totally true. I will tell you, so Ron, let me tell you, down here in South Florida, there is nothing better than having a good-looking tan. As you can see, we have decent tans. Not really, we're pretty white. But I'll tell you what, dude, when I come in here and I'm doing some fun work on the weekends, after hours stuff, and I am rocking a set of shorts and like a nice tank top, nothing better than getting that quick ultraviolet tan.
Exactly.
It will burn real fast.
Yeah, your skin gets very red and tan.
Yeah, no, I burn really quick.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm like as red as this helmet after 10 minutes of welding.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Ron is the White Rhino who you see, or you saw, he's still on YouTube and everything like that. Ron is a professional, and Ron does not weld, neither does Goaty Bo. Do either of those men weld without proper helmets? Young kids, do not try this at home. Take what Bubba is saying as serious. It's very, very dangerous. And please make sure you wear gloves whenever you're working with metal such as this. That was going to break his headphones in his ears. Make sure you use make sure you wear gloves whenever you're working with metal like this, especially those, and eye protection, especially those who are getting into metal fabrication. Why? These corners are extremely sharp, and you've got edges like this all the time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we know where this is going real quick.
No, you have no idea, dude.
Oh, okay, well, I'm
Just keep going.
Are you-
Keep talking about something.
Okay, so anyways, please, ladies and gentlemen, this is Bub in his creative moment. He's gonna send a message out to a couple people.
No, no chance. This is only for one person in my life.
Oh, it is?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, here it comes, ladies and gentlemen.
And Greg's gonna know exactly what this is
Anyways,
reference to.
make sure you're please using this equipment. As you can see, we are watching Bub use a pair of what we call tin snips or metal cutters. They are each designed different in their depth and in their strength so that they can cut through metal very easily. Each of these is color coded with a different handle to let the user know or the fabricator know what he is building with. They are very sharp and they will take off a finger very, very quickly.
All right, props. What's this?
Oh, that's Craig's front teeth,
There it is.
right? That's Craig's, this is our personal assistant's front teeth right here. It looks just like that. I actually was, ladies and gentlemen, was holding it this way, and I thought Bub was sending a message to Marky Mark out there.
Oh, no, I
So-
could have built that one as well.
Yes, exactly.
That
That's
one was
right. That's
epic
where
right
I thought
there.
that was coming from. That was
All right.
too obvious. Bub, one of the things we have here is a snap-on, a small snap-on pneumatic meaning
Air-powered?
air-powered saw. These are very neat. They allow you to make very tight cuts and very tight corners. You're not really into corners with these. You drill a hole and then work around that. Let's talk about this a little bit.
So that is actually, I'm going to continue doing this while I'm talking about
Okay.
this. So this is actually snap-on powered air saw. This thing is great for doing a lot of small, quick stuff. I love this in the fact that you can do super crazy quick cuts and turns with it. So if you wanted to make something really, really super smooth and you are working with a very thin piece of metal, aluminum, even plastics, interior panels and modifications, kick panel modifications, maybe you're doing a set of, audio install speakers, whatever you need to do, this thing will literally just chomp right through it like you are using a hot butter knife.
How long will these blades last on the average, Bub?
Depends on what you're cutting. I mean,
Okay.
if you're cutting plastic, you could do one blade for 6 months. If you're doing aluminums, you can pretty much fill the teeth of these things up. They are offered in like an 18, a 20, or maybe a 14, an 18, and 24 tooth blade, which is how many teeth are actually on the blade itself in a matter of an inch distance. So you can get different blades depending on what it is that you are cutting. But these things are great when it is something quick. You need to do a quick trimming. You need to do something quick cutting. It is great, very easy to use. Or if you're just doing something small, you don't need to go out with, the heavy shear that's on the
Sure.
right side of the table, the left
Sure.
side to
Right
everybody
here.
else. Maybe you don't need to use a shear. You don't need to use a plasma cutter. You just want to do something quick, rip right through it, and then you can polish the edges of it with a grinder.
And Bub, let's talk a little bit about now what we have here. This looks like a fairly dangerous little tool if we're not careful as well. I see there's a safety device right here that the operator simply pushes in to release the pressure on the handle. This also has a pneumatic air fitting on the back. Bub, can you tell us a little bit about these fittings? And there are many different ones. What is the difference between them, please?
So this setup here, this is actually rocking a 1/4 IM fitting. That is what I use in the entire facility here. Everything from our upholstery side to our paint. Why are you chuckling? What do you got going on over there, dude? What do you think you're referencing that to something right now?
No, I'm really not.
You are.
It's just like, I'm sure Goaty Bo can hear you throwing underneath this table. You built this, it's very sturdy.
Uh-huh.
It's designed for hammering and welding and plasma cutting, and there's a bunch of metal scraps underneath this table.
This is true.
So, okay, so go on, Bub, tell us a little bit about what this piece does.
So that is actually a cutoff wheel. That is almost like an in-between version of, say, like this saw, which is kind of good for minor stuff, to this one being that in-between of like maybe your next level before you get into either a Sawzall, something a little more heavy duty, a chop saw, or also maybe plasma cutter. This is great for mobility on the go, cutting through pretty much any size, thickness steel you need to, depending on what brand you're working with, how much strength the thing has. These things have a lot of torque to them. They can slip out of your hands very quickly. Make sure a lot of guys out there don't run with guards on them. I do put guards on them only for the simple fact that as this thing is spinning, even though it's spinning in one direction and you're cutting maybe away from you, you are still going to have sparks flying up at you from all the way around if you're cutting through something pretty hefty. So I run with my guard on there just to keep it safe. But it's great for cutting either, aluminums, metals, even plastics, just doing trimming. Maybe you're cutting out, a clump of frame, maybe a clump of rust. Maybe you're just cutting off something on here that I could be doing in a minute.
So, Bub, I also have right here in this package, you will see there are 2 individual foam hearing protectors. We use these out when we are shooting, and we also use them here in the facility. These are what we call expansive. You simply roll them between your fingers like this in a back and forth fashion, insert it into the ear canal and let it go. It will unwrap itself and expand just like foam will on the inside of the ear canal to cut down on the very piercing level of noise these tools produce and protect you. Also, Bub, one of the things that you use as well is a pair of safety goggles. These meet safety certifications. They are very, you can see right here, they're designed to hold steady on the back of the head and ears so they don't drop in the middle of what you're looking to do. And they provide protection and vision, peripheral vision, right here through the sides. They have a plastic piece that sits, or a rubber piece that sits on the bridge of your nose, so even though your body emits oils, this doesn't slip down off the edge of your nose, Bub.
Okay, so you want to see something really cool about those, though?
Yes.
So take that piece right there, flip up the end caps on these.
Flip
Check
it.
this out.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
this is some hefty
All right,
stuff.
so right here, Bub, well, look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, on the end of Bub's glasses, we have another set of hearing aids right here in the caps of them. This is a different hearing aid than the type you are used to. These are on a string.
You mean the one that helps you hear?
These are, exactly. These are on a string that are permanently attached, and these almost look like a Christmas tree. And they use these areas to capture the piercing sound and to deaden it down on the inside of your ear areas. It's a nice safety feature, Bub.
I actually didn't want those because I'll tell you what, those things are like bulbous balls that are rubbing on the side of your head.
Are they?
Yeah.
Do you
Put them on the side of your head, watch.
Do you often have balls rubbing on the side of your head?
Last night I may have had one set hit me.
Where was Marky Mark?
He wasn't with me.
He wasn't?
Simon Beloff.
Simon Beloff. Okay, so there we go, Bub, outside the grease smudge marks. That's not too bad. As Bub continues his work here, Bub, what do we have right here? This is a 45-degree one.
So this is like the funnest tool in, so this is the funnest tool in metal working or aluminum working right here. This is literally what I would consider the best piece of it because this helps you with not only everything from surface prep to, and there are all different kinds of sizes, shapes. These things can be straight, they can be 90-degree, 45. You can get larger ones, 3-inch heads on them, whatever it is you want to do. This one's rocking a set of 2-inch Rolex on it from 3M. This,
What is he laughing at?
I don't know, but our producer's back here just dying in the corner. So this thing is everything from stripping metal down to raw through paint, maybe through rust. You need to get through something. This will grind it all the way down. Maybe you want to grind down some disgustingly ugly welds. There are a lot of guys out there that do some terrible welds. You need to, here it comes. You need to grind through those welds and get them cleaned up. Maybe if you need to start over with a weld. Maybe you're just trying to grind through a current weld. Let's say some people spot weld exhaust systems, right? After I do an install on especially a lot of modern performance high horsepower cars, all of these components are typically in like that 3-inch slip flange style. So, all right, so this one's definitely for Goaty Bo then. So, this is epic right here, I want you to know. I'm
It is
signing
epic.
this and sending it off to the 405.
Are you?
I gotta fix one piece.
So, ladies and gentlemen, from Brian Tessner, our good friend Goaty Bo from the former 405 Street Outlaw Show, he says that, and this tells you, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it's a family show, but he says, Goaty Bo, who's an amazing fabricator, he's like
Is that
you,
what you're
Bub.
referring to right
Yes.
now, Goaty Bo?
Looks like Bub's dildo, not a Christmas tree, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know, last time I was in the store, Bub, I didn't see anything that said Bub's dildo.
Well, I've only put that in 2 holes, so that's not too bad so far.
Well, it's funny,
Just the left and right.
right.
Yeah.
It's funny too that, and you gotta admit, getting into it with Goaty Bo, it's hilarious, man. He's got a hilarious sense of humor. But when you get into it with him, things like this come up, and there's just you can't get around it.
Yeah, no chance at all.
So, and Bub, so that is what you use to kind of form and shape your metals.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially like you could literally do it to maybe round corners if you're using like these shears that I'm working with right now. These things do kind of create a little bit more of a harsh edge to them. They're not going to be the smoothest cut, but I'll tell you what, you can get really close, and then if you want to fine tune it from there, you can use any of these grinders, and it comes out super beautiful.
And you do put a tack weld on those. I know you and Bo are amazing welders, Bub. You're all self-taught, MIG, TIG, PIG, WIG, STIG, doesn't matter.
All of
You
it.
do it all. Your welds are like robot welds. They're robotic, man. I look like popcorn.
Listen, it takes a lot of time, and you have to know what it is you're trying to achieve. So when you're welding, you're almost, everybody's got their own style and fashion of welding. I have my way of doing it. Everyone has their own way of doing it, whether you're doing MIG, whether you're doing TIG. But once you get comfortable with a machine and you understand like what you're trying to go to. So you're not only working with wire feeds if you're just using basic MIG style welding. If you're working, with feeds, you're working with temperatures, you're trying to work with gas mixtures, to either cool the weld down or whatever it is you're trying to do. You're trying to combine all these different pieces together. And again, it's something where understanding and doing the research of what it is you're trying to achieve and how to master that art, that's where it all comes into play. But once you understand it, it's very easy to say go from like 1/8 inch thickness sheet metal, to 1/4 inch to 3/8 to 1/2 inch thickness. And you can literally, as you start doing a weld, you can immediately reflect and be like, oh, you know what, maybe I need a little more heat. Maybe it's too hot, and you can know exactly what it is you're looking for.
You're very good about that
That's
stuff.
just something that comes with time and a lot of practice and understanding of what it is you're trying to do.
I know that you have been typically using the Snap-on MIG and TIG welder. I also am aware that Phil Heck is sending in all new equipment for you and Bo to start doing these
Did you get new
project
cologne?
No, I didn't.
You smell really good.
I do anyways.
You took a shower for once.
This is the first one I've had in like 6 months.
Has to be.
Yeah.
Bro, this thing is looking on point.
That's pretty legit, isn't it, Bub?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Working with metal is a tough thing, isn't it, Bub?
Not really.
What is the difference between MIG and TIG, Bub? There
So
are two
one
types
is,
of welding.
yeah, so one is going to be completely machine fed, and then one is actually TIG, where you're literally hand feeding all of the wire itself, so that you can either build a stronger weld, something smoother, you can lay them down better, you can get much more penetration. Cody Bo's going to like that penetration word with the dildo thing for me.
Yes. It's Christmas
So-
trees and penetration.
Right. So, there's two different types of welding. Even going into aluminum, there are different ways to weld aluminum. You can do MIG or TIG aluminum as well, not just doing steel, but there are different setups. We even have things down to dummy-proof aluminum spools, so you can weld aluminum, and it's very easy.
Are you suggesting we've got dummies here?
Oh, I wouldn't even suggest that. I would just say definite yes.
By the way, you're the only one who does weld here.
This is true. I've got some that try, and it just, I don't know.
Greg says no?
Greg
He
can
weld.
partially weld.
Have you seen his work?
I've
I
seen
shoot
his upholstery. Hey, let me tell you.
I shoot popcorn everywhere.
I'm gonna have to do it again. Hey, sometimes Greg has failed to let me down yet when it comes to upholstery.
He's failed in a lot of other areas.
Oh, for sure. So the upholstery side,
Oh, by the way, I got paperwork for you to sign today. Don't forget.
definitely really strong on the upholstery side. Did you see the seat that he just did in the CLS?
For the Mercedes?
That we're doing the custom upholstery?
Stunning work again.
Stupid. I mean, literally, maybe better than Mercedes mass production
If
quality
he
on a
cares that much
$150,000
about the
car.
quality of his work in the upholstery shop, how comes every time I go back there, he's got his feet up on social media?
That's how he rolls.
You know how much I pay a week for that?
Yeah, a lot.
Do you know how much other people would would put up with that?
None.
All right.
I'll tell you what.
Bub, do you have something to show Goody?
Goody Bo. It's right here for you, baby. Right here. Made it in a matter of 2 minutes while I'm standing here talking. Fully functional fingers, bro. Look at this. Look at this. You see this right here? If I bend them back down, they are going to snap off. This is pretty thin aluminum. Here goes the pinky. Oh, part of the mafia crew, bro.
Well, this is what happens when you don't wear protection. You cut off your fingers working with sheet work. And the producer can't take it anymore. All the stuff hitting the table is
That
breaking
means the
his ear.
volume's up way too high, and we're probably clipping and echoing like crazy. On the way.
So, Bub, in all, this is a very, very small piece of the equipment you use to fabricate and to build with, especially on the metal and wood side. However, this is going through a complete reconditioning area over here with the upcoming idea we have going on, and you and Bo will be spending a lot of time in this area. It's a very quiet area. It's a very comfortable area to work.
Yeah, it's, we try to keep it quiet here around the facility. There's, after hours, we do crank it up. We get the music going in here. We have a lot of fun with it. But during hours, we do keep it calm because we have a lot of celebrity clients that walk through here, a lot of high-end clientele, and you just don't want to be that raggedy, obnoxious, sloppy shop mess. So we do keep it very calm and cool around the facility. All the doors are shut, and it's by appointment only, just because we have so many people that are rolling through here all the time to either see the rides in progress, just check out the shop, do shop tours. I mean, we do plenty of tours around here between
Yeah.
the paint and body, the upholstery, the main build facility, the showroom up front, the outside parking garage that is fully locked in and secure. So we have a lot of fun out here.
A lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yep.
Thank you for stepping through some of this stuff with us. We are going to start tearing this area down and remodeling it here.
Yep.
Bub. It's been in place for 3 years since we opened this facility. It's time to change it.
That's right.
Until tomorrow, Bub.
Just keep on doing it Bubba style.
Ladies and gentlemen, this episode has been brought to you by Bubba's Exotic Motorsports. Bubba'sExoticMotorsports.com for all the latest in accessories, apparels for your loved ones for Christmas. It's coming. It's right around the corner. You can still ship and order now. It'll get shipped out in time, ladies and gentlemen. And 19,000 new parts from Nitto Tire to American Racing Wheels and Tires to Borley Exhaust to Steto Auto Parts. It's all there, ladies and gentlemen. Anything you need to complete your ride at the best prices anywhere on the internet. And if they are found better, we'll beat them by 5%. Miss Outlaw Boutique, that's Miss Outlaw Boutique, msoutlawnboutique.com for the greatest boutique apparel and accessories. The girls are killing it. They're open extended hours now through Sunday for Christmas. Go on, shop online, or visit Miss Robin and Layla, the former supermodel, in person. Amazing people. Just good people, amazing, amazing clothing line as well. And it's got an outlawish saloon type feel to it. We will be there on the 21st, I believe, of January. We'll come to you with more information with the former 405 boys from Street Outlaws. You're going to meet us all in person. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a lot of fun, as a matter of fact. Oh, God, what can we not say about Woodward Fabrication? Years and years and years of just sponsorship and love. All they have given to us is what's allowed us to get to where we are today. Phil Heck, Woodward Fab, thank you for everything, man. Woodward is fabrication done Bubba style. And finally, the Guinness World Record holding largest cars and coffee event in the world, Exit 71, January 21st for the upcoming event, 8 to noon. We will be out there. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the holiday season, but it doesn't have to be for you to be good to others. Make sure we open the door for somebody whose hands are full, an elderly person walking down the street with the cane or just needing help. You know, those people need our help. Their hands built America. They're tired. They need some help on this end as well. If somebody has holes in the bottom of their shoes, give them a pair of yours. Reach in the trunk, give them your running shoes. It's time for you to get a new pair anyways. They stink and they're all worn out, even though they may be Nikes. Thank you, Mr. Producer. They need to be replaced. Give them a pair of your shoes. And if somebody's hungry standing on the corner, ladies and gentlemen, please feed them. Citgo, 7-Eleven, McDonald's, it doesn't matter. $5 is your cup of coffee out there from Starbucks. It'd do better for them. Good morning to Robin Weigel out there, one of our producers. James, how are you, my good friend out there? James has been instrumental in launching our new project, I shall say. He's been a good friend, good mentor, and he's a good guy to argue with when you get tough. Times are tough. There's Shannon Citeric, who is our office manager. Good morning. Thank you. Buzz Odom. Good morning. Ken Mitchell. And Sam Sock. I'm still not able to pronounce that last name, man. How do we pronounce that, man? Thailand. He's from Thailand. Jun Mang. Sam Sock, please, I apologize if I pronounce your name wrong, but know that I'm giving it a try. Ladies and gentlemen, that does it for today's episode of Doing It Bubba Style. Thank you for letting us into your hearts and your homes. Stay tuned for the big project that's getting ready to appear. You'll be hearing much more about that in an upcoming episode. Till tomorrow, keep on doing it, Bubba Style. All right, I'm going to get some lunch, man. It's about that time.